From Sacramento, it's Let's Spend the Night Together with Dante and Craig and Artemio. Tonight's musical guests, the Beatles and Beyonce and Steven Tyler. Take it away,
Yeah, you got
boys.
satin shoes.
This is a Wheezing the Juice episode. I forgot.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another amazing episode of Let's Spend the Night Together. 60th episode, actually. I am your host, Dante.
Special episode.
With me, as always, is my colleague, cohort, and co-conspirator, Craig.
Ahoy, hoy.
Back in the saddle again. Who's joining us? Mr. Artemio.
I'm the old dog that just can't quit, baby.
The old dog that is in for one last rodeo.
And you know
The
what?
old
It's
dog
not.
barking up a tree one last time.
You're not co-conspiring as long as it's the truth.
Oh.
You're
true.
truth
It's
speakers.
conspiracy truth, not conspiracy theory.
And I believe it.
That's right.
Every second, every time you guys talk to me, you guys deliver just knowledge. Every word.
Honestly, everybody, it sounds like this old dog's up to some new tricks.
You know what? I know it. I'm a little more intellectual. I'm a little more regal.
Yeah,
I'm
this
a
is a
regal
more
beagle at this
intellectual
point. Speaking of dogs, I'm a regal
Artemio
beagle.
and a more intellectual episode of the show.
You might be asking yourself, what have I stumbled upon? Well, I'll tell you, lone traveler. This is
Weary
a
traveler.
late-night comedy chat show where we discuss a wide variety of topics. Primarily, we focus our attention on pop culture, entertainment, news, religion, politics, and
Who fucks?
who fucks. Thank you very much. If you are offended by
about who
anything that
sucks?
you hear, we know that you'll keep
just
an open
implied.
mind,
Cum
and we
se,
know that
cum
you
sa.
will. And remember, these are just
Yeah.
jokes. So as of that, we have
think they'll keep
assembled
an open
a
mind.
terrific show for you
I hope
tonight,
so.
fellas.
Because we'll probably say some offensive things.
Maybe here or there.
I hope not.
I hope.
And we're just going to start off strong.
If we don't, I'll just yell a slur at the very end before we, just to make sure.
Yeah, I don't like that sort of thing.
Really?
Yeah, it's really
You just a boob.
it rocks me. Yeah. Like
Isn't
when
that
people
weird?
say the N word, I'm like, what, neighbor? You know, like I don't even. I don't
you
even,
don't even know?
My mind doesn't even.
You're
go there.
colorblind, right?
Yeah.
Boob is like the. Don't you think like boob is like the softest form of slur?
Bigotry.
Of bigotry? Yeah.
Boob. Oh,
calling
like you're just
someone
kind of
a
a
boob.
jerk.
People call like a dummy
Yeah.
Yeah.
a boob.
Well,
like,
isn't there
like you're slow?
a term for that in Canada? Wasn't it like a goof?
Yeah.
That's like
or
the-
they think it's even worse.
That's like the worst thing that you
Yeah,
can
that's
call
like a
somebody.
shitty
boob.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's
calling
like-
somebody
no,
the
it's a
N-word.
goof.
So it's like calling
It's a
somebody a bum.
Yeah, yeah. A crumb bum, probably. All right, so we're doing.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, this is a Wheezing the Juice
Oh, yeah.
edition of the show. So
Special
Wheeze the Juice with
edition.
us.
And it's episode 60. We finally made it.
Yeah,
boys.
landmark episode 6.
Wheeze the juice.
That's right.
That's true.
We're just going to
This
get right down
episode's
to it.
downhill.
The
We're just
first
gonna talk
one,
about Pauly Shore.
it's only rock and roll.
This guy fucks.
But I like it.
Like it.
Yes, I do. And this one today, guys, it's a good one. The Beatles. Everybody loves the Beatles, right? The
Yeah.
fabulous foursome.
Oh, Calcutta.
Okay, now this, Craig actually brought this story to my attention
This is
a week or two
foul.
ago.
I'm not sure.
And this
I'm
is
from
the
Liverpool.
only place that I could find the story.
About
and
the
it
was on the
lovable lads
dark
from
web.
Liverpool.
and it's weird. I had to
Yeah.
put in somebody else's social
Something
security number, but I
Oh my
found it.
God.
Well, I'm glad I gave it to you for a good reason.
Okay, so this will play out, and this is about music history. So just
Yeah, just bear with us.
What did
bear
you
with
type
me.
in? www.darkweb.com /
The Beatles /
Okay.
the lovable lads from Liverpool.
Oh Calcutta. This notorious stage play by Kenneth Tyron featured full frontal nudity by both sexes and sexually explicit dialogue. Tennant, who was born in 1927, was Britain's most influential theater critics, and at one time was the literary manager of the National Theatre. His name became associated with controversy in the 60s when he became the first person to ever use the word fuck live on British television. Tynan died in 1980. So why are we talking about this man? Oh, because of O Calcutta. Proved just as shocking to the public, who considered it just another example of the permissive 60s. Tynan asked a number of celebrities, including Mr. John Lennon, Beatles fame,
Tynan.
to contribute a small sketch to the play. Now, wouldn't that be fun? I mean, you're a John Lennon fan in the '60s, and a little bit of fun, a little bit of banter. Who knows? I've seen Help. I like Help. It's been a hard day's night.
Oh my God.
This is just like that. All right, so
That's
John.
how you say it, right?
John wrote a skit about masturbation based on a time in his boyhood when he would masturbate in the company of friends, during which they'd call out the name of movie actresses.
He pulled a real Louis, didn't he?
No.
Now, that's a really bizarre thing. I can't...
Of course,
Yeah.
Elizabeth Taylor.
I was trying to think about, like, okay, so he's trying to, like, artistically, like, put, like, masturbation, like, it's an awkward thing to do as a preteen teen.
Maybe it's like some kind of allegory.
Yeah, like
something.
he's trying to like make it like, oh, this is so, but it's just
no, it's just that.
Just seems a little weird.
But
it's just a wank fest.
They're saying he really did.
Yeah, it was based off of real life. Yeah,
friends.
And
He's
we're
like,
gonna
dude,
get to that.
check this out.
Come on
Hey,
over,
hey,
come
my
on,
bros, check this out real quick, and then you see him like, clickety clack on
Ringo,
his whole
George,
fucking.
come over.
Okay, so Paul
jerking
McCartney and Barry Miles openly discussed this group masturbation in the book many years from now. Is it just like some kind of foursome thing where it was like every other person's hand?
Oh, like where they you grab the guy to your right?
Wait, that's not how you guys jerk off?
You just pretend like you're playing Hungry Hungry Hippos.
That's not how you
your
guys
buddy
jerk off?
next to you. For boys in their mid-teens, most of their sex education came from their peers. Skewed anatomical knowledge, improbable dirty jokes, stories of dubious authenticity about girls they barely knew.
I like that phrase.
You know,
And of course, masturbation circles. Circle jerks is that.
the
And
band?
we're not talking about the punk rock band.
I thought circle jerks was when there was an individual that was inside the circle.
that's
that
a bukkake, my friend.
Jerked it.
Wait, I thought that was an Asian cum festival.
Say one and the same.
I'm way off.
Dante, you can't say Asian anymore. Be politically.
Oriental? Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
I'm trying. I
Hard
don't
buzzer
know what
on
to
that
say. I don't know what to say anymore. Do I get the
my
buzzer
God,
for that one? Okay. Okay, so circle jerk. John's crowd. This is just like John Lennon just calls you on the phone. All right, are you gonna come over tonight?
Dude, you know what? You know what's so interesting to me about this? I don't know why. Just like it reminds me of this article I just read about, and you can look it up while we're talking about it if you want to. But this artist took pictures of 3 different couples having sex, but it's on their period, and they're like,
Come on.
I swear to God, I swear to
No,
God.
I believe you.
But it was like the title was like if you're like an adult in 2018, this shouldn't shock you. I was like, yeah, okay, like I've had relations with a woman while she's going through a cycle, and it's
What about a man?
them too,
It's like-
both, brother.
Okay,
I swing,
cool.
I do it all. You know what I'm talking about? But it was
Playing the odds.
It was
You're
just
a trisexual. You'll try anything once.
it was just weird. It just seems like shock value that somebody would like put out
Yeah.
art like that.
And it shouldn't shock.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, yeah, cool.
It's only
Everybody's
shocking
been
if
there.
you have a problem, bro.
I've also
Yeah.
like dropped.
What a
it.
waste of time for that person to write that art.
I've also like taken a little dookie. You know what I mean? I'm not
Have
gonna
you?
post like photos of it and say like, here, this is poop.
You shouldn't be shocked by this.
You should not like this. This is art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. I guess intimacy can be messy, but it's why do you have to why do you throw it in people's faces and call it art? I don't know.
It shouldn't shock you.
Yeah, it's very
It's
strange.
20. We've talked about that. I remember in an episode of the podcast where it's like, I hate that argument of like it's 2018.
It's current year, bro.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Oh, Calcutta.
Yeah, that's what I'll say next time.
Oh, Calcutta.
All right, so John's crowd
you
tended to
have
meet
to see it.
at Nigel Wally's house
Nigel.
Who's that?
in Vale Road near Menlo Ave. They're just giving us directions.
Was Pete Best there?
Nigel played
Or
T
Stu
chest
Sutcliffe?
bass with the Quarrymen.
What kind of bass?
T chest bass.
T-chest
So-
bass.
Never heard of that.
And not to plagiarize, like we're reading this from
Quarrymen.
Absolute Absolute elsewhere.
Yeah, absolutely
.net,
elsewhere. Yeah,
which sounds
yeah.
as
If
fuck.
you want to go look at this, just look up O Calcutta, and you'll just find this article. No problem.
Just go to your local Blockbuster.
Okay,
And
so
I
Hollywood Video.
spent a lot of years living in Calcutta. It's a beautiful country. So I have a
Nigel
connection to this story in this play.
Nigel played bass with the Quarrymen until he abandoned his instrument. Okay,
Until
Is it Quarry or Query? What do you think?
The Quarrymen, bro.
Query.
The Quarrymen.
so they're talking about this guy, and it says his father was a chief superintendent, head of Liverpool Police A Division,
So was he like official or something?
whose duties meant
Nailed it.
his teenage son was often left alone at his house to have wankathons,
fap by
I guess.
himself.
Yeah, that's very weird. So Paul
I
McCartney
don't-
is saying have wanking sessions when we
Yes.
were young at Nigel Whaley's house.
You know, when you get to a point where you just,
You just say
you're
it.
with your homies, and you just start like, hey, dude, what do you guys want to do?
You're just kind of bored.
Why don't we just beat off in front of each other? That's really heterosexual,
Yeah.
so let's do that.
Well, and they would call out. They would say different names.
It's like a
and stuff.
fun thing. But they were like,
This is a fun.
That's me in the
13
corner.
or
That's
a lot
me
like
in the
the
spot.
R.E.M. hit.
They're on
Like-
the REM.
let's start talking
number
trash.
one hit.
No. But wait, they were like 13 when they did that.
Yeah,
right, or
yeah.
something? So
It was
it's
a-
like, not that it's like that's the age you're supposed to, but I mean that would be the
But that
age
is
when
the
that
age.
maybe would happen.
It's like when you can,
It's
when
like
you,
when you just don't know what
it's like
why
your age.
your weenie points up towards the moon.
It's the same thing, Craig. Let me explain
When
to you
there's
in
a full
layman's.
moon.
Just like how Ash got his first Pokemon when he turns 10, as he
Yeah.
would.
And then he saw Misty
there's,
and the blood rushed below his waist.
3 years later, he gets
No short shorts.
invited to the FAPS to the
Fap session with Brock.
to the ju- as
the fat
Brock
pot.
was there, and there was a Mr. Mime.
Mr. Mime
He was just like,
the door.
I can't get.
Mime.
He wanted to be in the circle, but he was in a glass wall, and he just I can't get close.
Mime, I'm gonna bust. Mime.
Ash was like, "Should I be here?" I'm not sure. And then there's just a Mr. Mime that just didn't say anything, but held his
Yeah.
hand out like,
And just-
"Come hither."
Come on in. This way, please.
The jerkster.
And then when Mime finishes, he finishes on the invisible wall. It splatters.
That's why his hands always look like they're sticky.
Oh my god.
I shouldn't have said it.
We'll be right back after this.
Classic jerkster. When you
Sounds
talk
like
about
it.
Mr. Mime,
Yeah.
you talk about Ash Ketchum,
Yeah, preach.
jerkster.
That's true. That's very true. And Brock is there.
So that's how we got those badges.
Oh my god, stuff like that.
That's why it always looks like it's dripping for every match.
Yeah, I didn't know. It looks so realistic.
He got that yellow badge. Was that for like a golden shower or something?
And Misty's like, "What's that yellow badge?" She's like, "No, that's just a stain."
Oh my god.
He's
That
like,
white badge. It's just-
he's just like, "Trust me, Misty, you don't want to know about that
Oh
one."
That's
my
the Pearl
God.
Pokemon. Ever
I'm
heard
still
of it?
walking that one up.
He had to get the pearl.
I was
badge
playing
from
Pokemon
her.
Pearl. I
Oh,
don't know.
man.
He had to find the little polywog in the boat.
That's a myth.
Evolution's a
Dude, you know what I thought about? I heard that term just like in a podcast. I don't even remember what it was. But he said the little man in the boat. And it reminded me of drama class in high school that we
Totally,
had.
Victor.
And I think you or someone drew a picture for me of like a guy. I don't even remember exactly what it looked like, but it was detailed in like a good drawing of like a little man in the boat. I want to say it might have been a bean shaped guy in a boat or something like that
brilliant.
on the water. And I was like, I don't think I had ever heard that term. I was probably like 16 or 17.
I was
I'd, like,
6
never
years
heard
old.
that term. And I was just like, what is the little man in the boat? And then right as it's like kind of clicking and you're like giggling and I'm like, oh, the teacher just walks by and I'm pretty sure she grabs it off the table
Oh,
yeah.
no.
and looks at it and just shook her head and like put it back down, just gave it back.
The Shyamalan twist of that is the
Yeah.
teacher was a lesbian. So she knew
Yes.
exactly what we were talking about.
Oh, okay.
She knew it better than us.
Yeah, she's like, "You guys are fucking
sure.
rookies," and then
Yeah,
just take the paper
crumbled
and
it
just
up.
crumpled it up and Kobe'd it.
Yeah, that was a great. I love
My
that
bad,
teacher.
what were you saying?
I was just gonna say, have you guys heard about? We were talking about
Oh, Calcutta.
Pokemon at some
Oh,
point.
yeah.
Oh, got it.
I
That's
believe
what the segment is.
It's like we've gone so off topic.
No,
that
no,
I've been
keep
digging
going.
back. Like,
Hey, man,
Like
that's
that. Yeah,
wheezing
yeah.
the juice.
but
Who
this
cares?
is another episode of Wheezing the
Yeah.
Juice. There's a version there's people give themselves guidelines to play Pokemon, and there's like a
Oh,
Christian
the
way to
original
play.
ones? Yeah.
We were talking about evolution. That's what put me on it.
Yeah. So you don't evolve your
You
Pokemon?
you
'Cause
can't
there's no
you
such
can't
thing as
evolve them,
evolution?
and there's you can't use ghost Pokemon.
So
you have to use like
That's
fucking.
satanic.
So is that like the Protestant way of playing, or the pious way?
I'm the penitent man when I play Pokemon.
You lash yourself whenever
Is
you.
Every time.
Is Charizard like the devil or something? Like
Yeah,
you can't
well,
play
look
him?
He's he represents Satan.
You guys
Or
look at
Magmar.
you guys look at those wings. You guys look at that fire breather, and you guys tell me whether or not he's
Damn, that's
Sir
some deep
Beelzebub.
shit, bro.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm not going to be the one that tells
Preach,
you
brother.
how to live your life, how to Pokemon your train.
POKéMON.
Switch it.
All right, so back to the Beatles story.
Calcutta.
Paul was saying that we'd stay overnight.
Hard cut
At
back to
Nigel.
Calcutta.
Calcutta. Hey.
Oh,
Nigel
Calcutta.
Wallenhouse.
They said we'd all stay overnight, and
We'd
we'd all
stay at Nigel's flat.
sit in armchairs, and we'd pull all the lights out.
Pull our puds.
Put all the lights out, excuse me.
Oh.
And we'd be teenage pubescent boys. We'd all wank. Or we-
with the lights out.
Bro, have you
We all
fact checked?
pull our
Have you
putts.
fact checked this, or is
This
this
is
like
supposed to
fucking
be Paul
fanfic?
saying
This is
this.
Paul
Yeah,
quote.
this is- I wrote
It does
this.
seem like fanfic written by Dante.
I actually wrote this.
And then Paul came through, pulled out all the lights,
Oh, my
And he's
started
like,
wanking.
We put
Yeah.
out all the lights and we were prepubescent boys.
and they used to call
We
me
pounded
Blackbird.
We found our
Ugh.
buds.
Why would it be called Blackbird?
Blackbird singing in the
Use your
desert.
imagination and think about what you like.
All
What
sing that
sexual innuendo
We'd all
Blackbird
wank.
could be.
Alright, so he said they'd all have a good old wank. What we used
Good
to
old
do,
wank.
someone would say, Bridget Bardot.
Bridget
Ooh.
Bardot.
That would keep everybody on par. Then somebody, probably John,
Ugh.
would say, Winston
Winston
Churchill.
Churchill.
And I'd say, oh no.
Oh no,
And it would completely ruin.
soft again. You got me pod soft, John.
Is Knock it-
off, don't say Winston. Come on.
You're making me edge.
mayonnaise.
I am the
Mate,
walrus.
You're
Come on.
making me edge. Ugh.
It says, it
No,
would,
the Edge wouldn't come along till years later.
Oh,
Well,
that's
and,
true.
and,
Bono.
and to be honest, we are
Bono
edgelords, so it makes sense. Like we're coming full
Yeah.
circle right now with this.
Guitar God,
Is
Edge.
this an episode of you talking?
Alright,
to
so he'd say, oh no.
I think it is.
Because John, we
We just
completely
got to it. We pretend that we're those guys.
yeah.
John completely ruined the moment and broke everybody's concentration.
That's an edgelord move. though.
me soft again, John.
That's an edgelord move. You see
Yeah.
your best friend beating
Yeah.
off, and you just slap the tip,
Pretty much.
and you're like, "Hey."
Yoko would edge him a lot, I heard too.
But guys, honestly,
That's what
this
he's
is
into.
this is also off.net, so this is essentially conspiracy theories.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, I guess I don't know that is a real quote, but I heard that's.
well, okay,
Paul
well,
quote confirming.
well, there's another one, right? So this is from Peter Shotton, who also mentions the Wank group.
You talking about P-Shot?
In his group, John Lennon, In My Life. This is the first chapter, first line. During our first year at Quarry
The
Bank,
first chapter.
John and I got into the habit of tossing off in the bushes on our way from school.
Let's toss
All
it
right,
off
now,
in the
I didn't go to
bushes.
college, and I'm not a psychiatrist,
Yeah.
but I think that on your way to
They're planting
school...
seeds.
Hey, don't downplay yourself. You took a course or two.
I took a course or two of night college,
Dude, the
but
more
I don't think watering the bushes in this sort of way is the most
No.
healthy thing.
It's a little too high of sodium and DNA content.
it's too
Not
chunky.
enough water.
It's
Yeah.
too chunky.
Too chunky. There's a little too many tadpoles.
yeah,
swimming
I'd
around
suggest maybe not doing that.
All right, guys.
Come on,
It
Nigel,
said-
let's have a toss in the bushes.
We also enlisted our entire gang
Repeat.
in a few mutual masturbation sessions. What is going on?
in. Is that what they called them?
So you've never heard of a masturbation session?
Come on, we're meeting up at 7 p.m. for the mutual masturbation.
Well, we started calling it masturbation.
Sensation.
We started calling it masturbation.
Yeah,
Masturbation?
they just started calling it
Wait,
Tuesday.
the masturbation
Tuesday.
section?
Yeah, we called it every day of the week.
It said, giving us all the opportunity to compare sizes and shapes. Lest
John's
any...
looked like a walrus, and that's where that came from.
I am the walrus. I have
Look,
little
this is a-
tusks.
Hot mayonnaise moment.
It says, lest any reader get the wrong impression, our fantasies at least were
Lest
strictly
any-
heterosexual. Strictly.
Yeah, looking at your buddy beating
At
off
this
is
point, that
so
does not
straight.
matter, like, at all.
It's so straight.
Somebody would say, right, boys? Someone would venture, who should we do it to today?
Bridget
Whereupon
Bardot.
we'd all take turns calling out the names of well-known sex goddesses.
Wait, I've got an idea. Yoko Ono. What, guys? What's wrong? That's a good idea.
She's
Dude,
very
did you know that
attractive.
Everyone's like,
she helped out with what's his name? The guy that did Isle of Dogs.
Oh, Wes Anderson?
Yeah, she helped out with that movie.
Really?
I think she voiced the character.
Is there a part where one of the characters goes,
Is that a joke or is that legitimate? I don't listen to the
well,
Beatles
that's what
at all.
she does in her performance.
Yeah.
I don't
Similar
listen. Yeah.
vocalization.
God forbid. I'm sorry to say this. I'm not a Beatles fan,
Oh,
so I
man.
don't follow it very
Get
often.
the heck off this pod.
Especially
You
like
don't
some John Lennon.
Oh, no.
And Yoko. No.
Listen to the Ballad of John and Yoko. It'll explain everything.
Yeah. So I didn't know if she like
Christ,
legit
you
was
know
just
it
on that
ain't
like
easy.
abstract kind of like if she would do shit like that where she's like
She did abstract vocalizations. She would sometimes regular harmonize with John or sing regular lead, but she did a lot of like variation on what I did. I'm sure she's like a little more artistic than what I did, but it's honestly just like weird experimental sounds.
That's interesting to me that she could influence one of the best
One of the
songwriters of all
greatest
time
songwriters
into
of,
like
the pop rock era. Yeah,
I mean, it's cool stuff. Like, and
it kind of makes
like,
sense that he'd be more interested in an experimental artist than like a pop artist.
Right. Well, they did. Allegedly did so much like drugs during like the Sgt. Pepper era that
I think this
he
should
might
be,
have just gone through
some screaming for you.
From what I understand,
I'm fixing a hole where the rain gets in.
From what I understand, he didn't like he didn't like being pop.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You know,
I remember hearing. I think we talked about it on here, but supposedly they met Bob Dylan. And Bob Dylan said that Lennon should make his lyrics more meaningful.
Dude, I heard about
And
that,
then
and he was like, you should write
Bob
like
Dylan,
purposeful songs.
He should be more. He should play the electric guitar, and not like listen to the naysayers and just make like rock or something.
That's
like that.
so cool.
Something
man.
like that. Make more noise and stuff.
Isn't it so weird that just a conversation can alter, like, what I would consider like global history? Maybe just, but it's
like
musical
pop culture.
It's musical shit, but like
history. Yeah.
the idea that somebody was probably like, "Hey, man, you should do this."
I'm not totally sure that story, like how true that is. I've just heard.
I've heard that same thing, but
Yeah.
it's so weird that it could be just within a conversation.
Yeah,
and it's like music splits. You know what I mean? And just the idea that like that conversation, like I was saying, like it could have been shorthand, just like, "Hey, you should play electric."
Yeah.
Like that's nuts to me,
Yeah.
and it affected like music.
Yeah,
so
and
heavily.
and John Lennon feeling like the responsibility from Dylan saying like, you know, you reach the widest audience of like any musician ever. Like you kind of have the responsibility to
like put
talk
out music
about
that
what's
makes
right
sense.
or something. Yeah, that like your lyrics should mean something instead of just being about tangerine dreams and marmalade skies.
I thought you were saying marmalade cream. I think that's a Pete and Pete reference.
Oh my god,
marmalade cream. But yeah, that.
But it
like
is
that,
crazy because everyone was along for the ride with those two influential artists.
Yeah, either you're here or you're there,
to be like,
or
you
you're
know
both.
what? We're gonna make a left turn all of a sudden.
Both of them did at almost the exact
around
same time.
Yeah. And freaked a bunch of people out, and they both probably made their artistically like their best, highest level stuff.
Dude, the Hurricane was fucking dope. Talking about Bobby D.
What is that?
There's a story of a hurricane where he talks about the boxer.
I don't know if I know that.
Are you serious?
Dante wrote it for Bob Dylan, though.
Do you think they ever had a conversation? Like
Denzel Washington did the movie The Hurricane.
Oh, really?
And that's is from what I understand based
About
off
the same
true story.
It was like a real person, but Bob Dylan wrote a song about it. Like
it's a
like
boxer named the Hurricane.
No, he did like here comes the story of a
hurricane.
Yeah. Can you help me out here with the way that
here comes
and a one and a two and a 1, 2, 3
of a hurricane.
Yeah,
it was
fucking sick.
Came to something.
It was like
for a crime you never done.
The answer.
For a crime, that's so Bob Dylan. Here's my cadence, and all of a sudden I'm here. Get out of here, dude.
The answer, my friend.
But that shit reminds me of
in the wind.
that shit reminds me of like the Clash. Like Joe Strummer told, I forget what the other singer was, but he was like, "Don't sing about shit that's not important.
Don't sing about being lost in the supermarket. We need to sing about."
Dude, that is
serious stuff.
Legitimately one of my fucking favorite Clash songs. If you listen to it,
supermarket.
Bro.
Did you think that Bob Dylan and
I'm hot blooded.
John Lennon, they ever had the conversation about, John leaned over to Dylan and say, "Hey, do you ever masturbate with your buds?"
You ever masturbated with your mates?
Wait, are you guys from Liverpool? That's so weird.
Originally, yeah.
John
On my mother's
is, yeah.
OG.
OG, yeah.
OG live.
So, Bob, Robert Zimmerman, have you ever
OGLP.
sat around with your mates and, pounded your pod?
You know, the bottom line, you guys know
No?
this about me, I'm OGLP, so...
What is that?
OG Liverpool. You never heard of it?
Are you?
You must not be
Okay.
from that town.
Oh, Calcutta.
Oh, Calcutta. Great
So
segue, Craig.
So back to
It's a
the
beautiful
great play,
segue.
O Calcutta.
I'm OGLP!
So, O Calcutta, it did eventually premiere.
So it's basically a play that a guy wrote, but it has different sketches within the play, and he
Yes.
asked John Lennon to write one of the sketches.
Yes, and this is...
And Lennon wrote it about this fucking circle jerk thing he used to do with the Quarrymen boys.
Exactly.
I got an
And this
idea
is
for a
the-
play.
and this-
Everybody jerk off on stage,
Yeah.
and it'll be art.
Yeah, that sounds like art to me.
Yeah.
It's very modern. So it says that John later took the experience and used it as the basis for his skit. Four in the Hand. In Kenneth Tynan's O Calcutta, Tynan copped out and substituted the Lone Ranger for John's original Winston Churchill line.
Oh.
Nor did he follow John's suggestion that they should actually
Oh my!
masturbate.
No, come on! They should actually do it, Tynan.
It wouldn't be realistic.
John's
There's
just
no
like,
truth in your art.
what, you don't get art? Let me explain it to you real quick.
Yeah, I'm a fucking quarryman. I
He's
know
just
what
like,
I'm
you're a
talking
sellout, and he just spits in
You're
his
a sellout,
face
man.
and walks out.
You're a sellout. You
Oh my
fucking
God.
wanker.
So O Calcutta
The Lone
premiered at
Ranger.
the
Look at that
Eden,
photo, dude.
the
That's
Eden Theater in New York City on June
That's
17,
sensual.
1969.
69.
69.
Woo, the whistle goes.
That was
Woo,
like
woo, woo,
that's
woo.
like around the time they were like breaking up. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
It was
this
the same
had-
time they were 6'9".
Maybe this led to it. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah, O Calcutta, the a lonely old play nobody ever talks about, but it's a
Oh my
Wankfest.
God.
So check it out, everybody.
What's the
Yeah.
play called?
O
I
Calcutta.
feel bad for the cow.
All right.
Why?
Get a load of this.
What?
Hello, hello.
Give me a level.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Okay.
Oh, you said I'm in 3 outfits. Nick
Well, here's
says,
the problem. Like, imagine.
are you filming?
Yeah. Yes. Imagine a presidential address. Like, you're busted with killing a hooker. Like, whatever, right?
What?
Just no. Hear me out. And they say tonight the president's going to give his address, and then the camera fades out, and it's fucking the president on his desk in the Oval Office, and he's like, "I did not have sex with that hooker," right? Imagine in his statement, and save his job, there were jump cuts, multiple outfits, different.
I'm trying to talk about Iran. I'm trying to talk about Valerie Jarrett wrote the Iran
I know,
deal.
but you've told me this 300 times. Do you know that a...
That's what my tweet was about.
I know. You've explained this literally 300 times.
I thought the bitch was white. God damn it! I thought the bitch was white. Fuck.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. Let's spend the night together. How's it going? Razzle dazzle.
I'm so glad they got Rosie the fuck out of the studio.
That was some
I could
beautiful
not handle it.
performance art from Roseanne.
Woo!
That was performance art, right?
God damn. I thought the bitch was white. Welcome back to Let's Spend the Night Together. How's it going, everybody?
People have said that about me a lot too. People say that about me.
I
I'm glad
want.
that bitch was white.
I thought the
Well,
bitch
when you
was
see the
white.
cakes, you think it's
They're right.
hey,
She's a looker
That's another.
too, that Roseanne.
That was a boom
She
moment on
really
me.
turns me on. Okay, guys.
You talking about Roseanne O'Donnell? Me too.
Artemio,
Roseanne had one of the
since-
great national anthems.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, she did. Artemio, since you're the guest, 1, 2,
Hi.
or 3?
This
So
is an
what is
existential question.
so what does Mr. 1 look like? What does Mr. 2 look like? And what does Mr.
Yeah.
3 look like?
Yeah.
Can I get all 3?
You get to ask them each a question, and then the way they answer it, you pick them.
So if Mr. 1 was a color, what color would he be?
Blonde.
I like long walks on the beach.
What sign is Mr. 2?
La Tigra.
La Tigra. And then
Tigra.
what's Mr. 3's favorite book?
whatever Ted Kaczynski wrote.
Mr. 3! Okay.
Ooh, I'm glad that you did that.
Me too. Or am I just in for one?
Oh, my
Seems like you're usually in for one. Let's take my breath away time, everybody. We're talking about love.
Sensual. We're kind of slow the show down.
Ooh,
We're romantic.
child.
Rhythm here. Groove.
We're going to kind of change things up here on the show.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about loving oneself.
Oh.
Body
I
acceptance.
do that all the time.
We actually, the
Do you
first...
do that with your right hand or your left?
Our
I
first,
go left so that way it leans to the right.
Cool.
the first segment was actually about, enjoying oneself. So this is just
was.
a natural progression of that.
Of course. I'm going to let the audience know I am not in my right state of mind, and they have kept me here beyond
Against
my
my
will.
will.
This is not a good...
This
is
isn't a shout for help.
Yeah.
But help.
Pretty much, if you're on the show, you're blacklisted everywhere.
Yeah,
so.
just don't allow me here again.
Okay,
Even
everybody.
like
If you've ever
They
been
keep
on
me
this
in the
show.
cellar, and they feed me waffles when I'm not
There's
around.
several people we wanted to have on this show.
They
that
try to treat me...
don't want to be
Yeah.
blacklisted.
They can't be, but
So
for whatever
they
reason,
won't.
they can't come into the country. I don't know what's up with that, but
Can I tell you guys an honest thing?
yeah,
I love being here. You,
my God.
and you, and you, and you
Oh my god.
Yeah.
are...
You
fantastic.
pointed me, Dante, and what, Corey?
You don't have Corey, Bulldog?
Corey Haim.
Oh my god. The hamster or
Rest
fell
in
dog?
peace.
I keep
in
Corey
peace.
in a hamster cage.
Oh my god. All right, everybody, we're talking body acceptance. Beyonce
Yeah.
shouts out, "My little FUPA in Vogue, and people are here for it."
That's an anagram.
What is that? How do you shout something out in a magazine?
You want to see my FUPA?
I've never seen a magazine that emitted sound.
and this is direct from the Huffington Post, so you know it's legit.
We're always at the HuffPo.
We're always at the HuffPo.
I'm on the HuffPo, bro.
It's just
Hey,
like...
what do you read? I read the
If you
HuffPo.
follow the plumbing, the pipeline,
I read the
you're
HuffPo,
just
bro.
one extra little pipe coming off of the HuffPo.
I ride the HuffPo, bro.
So if you want to read the HuffPo, but you just want to like add one more filter to it.
But you're a working
Listen
woman,
to
you know.
this.
And
Bro, you can
you're-
ride the HuffPo, but
A lot
bro,
of
do
working
you-
women, that's
do
why
you
they
know?
listen to the show.
They respond well to the show.
Because yeah,
Studies have shown.
we break
There's
down
also a lot of
HuffPo
like working men
news.
too. Like I work,
Debatable.
I
It's
work.
true.
so I'm a working man.
You know what? I know it.
You know what my problem is?
You're working,
Working
it.
Girl is
You're
a good
working it
movie.
too.
I want them to reboot Working Girl, but with a man lead.
I got cakes cooked like it's fresh from the oven.
You're a thick boy. All right. Then you'll love this.
So
So you
what
love
I
your
mean,
own body. So,
She shouts.
You don't know what FUPA is?
so
I know
the
what a
September
FUPA is, but
issue of
How
Vogue.
did she shout that into a magazine?
It's a fat upper penis area.
We'll get to
my
that,
God.
my brother. The September issue of Vogue has everything. Beyonce cover images shot by a black photographer. What? For the first time in the magazine's 126-year history.
Holy shit.
And of
That's rad.
course,
That's awesome.
fat upper pussy areas. Woo. The singer who was
Rough.
given unprecedented control over the September issue of Vogue, including the cover. I know there's a
We'll scroll
September 11th joke in there somewhere. The accompanying article.
September issue.
Like scroll to
There you
the.
go.
That's amazing, dude. Beyonce does no wrong, so I'm not mad at.
She queen, right? She queen.
Queen Bee.
She queen.
No,
baby.
I mean she works so hard at like singing and dancing. She's like the Michael Jackson of female artists. So yeah, I'm 100% behind whatever she does. She's good. That's a
Well,
weird
even
thing.
though she's talking about her fat upper pussy.
It's a weird thing.
area.
It's just a weird thing to
That's
say
cool.
FUPA, but
So let's talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah, I'm still trying to...
Okay, so she had unprecedented control, including the cover and company article, but the photo captions. Got real about her body, pregnancy, and what it means to be a Y-man. The realness includes...
why, man?
The realness...
Bill Wyman, the Poonhound?
Again, this is directly
Rolling
off
Stone's Bill
Huffington Post.
That realness included talk about the FUPA. So now we're finally to the meat and potatoes of the
Yeah,
article.
yeah.
The FUPA, acronym that stands for fat upper pussy or penis or pubic area. When you're done clutching your pearls, just remember it's officially Beyonce approved now. What?
Well, I think that's lame. I think that's lame that this the writer of this article is like trying to make it
Is a
cool
douche.
that she says that it's cool, and I think that like it's so weird too because you have those conspiracy theories about how she never actually gave birth to her kids. That there's
Really?
Really?
yeah,
Like
like
an Alex Jones conspiracy?
Well, yeah, like people are like,
give birth, natural birth that God taught us to have.
well, people talk about like it's like there was a
Did in a test tube like a scientist, a Spider-Man
Hey,
villain.
you guys are on YouTube. You guys are gonna get fucking blacklisted
That's
if you guys
true,
keep talking
yeah.
about Alex
Yeah,
Jones. So it's
talk
fucking
I
don't
took
do
over
that.
their show. It's the only way I can be on YouTube.
I love.
I'm
what's
strong
his
and
name?
vital.
I love Sam Hain. I love fucking Danzig. Let me prove it to you. I'll sing every song. Every song you got. I got every song you got. I'm a Danzig. Bang. But fucking yeah. So there was like conspiracy theories that like Beyonce didn't actually like birth. They did surrogate, but she like made it appear like
So she had a
like,
fake belly
which
that
how
she would wear?
yeah. How insane is
Really?
that?
That's very clever and manipulative of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Shame on you, Beyonce. No, I'm just kidding. But she has always been such a positive like influence on like the female and especially African American female community, where like she's just a strong woman to look up to.
I love having
So,
Artemio on the show. He's the other side of the coin because I think you balance the show out.
Yeah.
I hope so. What have you guys been doing since I've been gone?
Well, we did a review of this book. Have you ever heard? It's like Mine.
Oh my god, don't say it. That's another
Mine's-
bleep
I can't
moment,
remember
dude.
the second part.
I'm not a
From the article,
good,
yeah,
though.
we don't like that stuff. That
No.
stuff's bad.
I disagree with a lot of his stuff.
Yeah.
shame on true. You know
Give
what I
you
mean?
that. Shame on what?
What?
Yeah.
She says, I think it's important for women and men to see and appreciate the beauty in their natural bodies. All right. Okay.
You know, and honestly, I'll agree with that. As a man that's had children that's been with their mom, you know, for at least 2 kids, you know, the idea like when a woman gives birth, obviously she's not as bellied as she was, so she shrinks down a little bit, you know, and it's like for me, I'm appreciative of every like kind of like
of the mom bod?
of like every stretch mark and stuff like that.
every
Like
shape.
everything. Every time I see a line, I think about like my kids, if that makes sense at all. But you know, and then you got Kendrick Lamar that's like, let me see you with some stretch marks, fuck you on my couch with some polo socks, like.
You see, he just stretches out the stretch marks. And
Well, no,
he
he just
something real,
he
like,
gives a little kiss,
some little
stretch
fucking
marks.
the dirt stars,
and he writes his name on it.
Yeah, with his tongue.
God.
You guys ever finger blast a fart box?
Nah.
Okay, never mind.
Wow.
But that is, I mean, that's love, and that's what the segment's about.
And
so.
I think that's
Hey,
what,
I think it's
that's
all on the table.
that's what she's trying to get across. But this is also really absurd that she's like, "Hey, word up to fupas."
Yeah.
Like there's comedy.
Okay, so,
There is comedy within that.
oh
so.
yeah. She says that's why I stripped away the wigs and the hair extensions and used some makeup for this shoot. Said Miss
little
Carter.
makeup. Yeah.
As little makeup, excuse me. She used some makeup this time. Said Miss Carter in a discussion about why she went with a more natural look. All right, or for the shoot. All right, now here we go.
Again, we're reading Huffington Post right now.
That's right.
I don't want this to sound like we're doing our own like journalism. Or, like,
This is journalism in 2018. I'm just gonna do the current year argument. It'll work. All right. It says, to this day, my arms, shoulders, breasts, and thighs are fuller. I'm kind of chubbing up to this. I have a little.
She's chubbing up to this.
God.
Wow. Surprisingly, I've heard worse from you, Dante, within this
Wait,
day.
I got a way to stop you. Winston Churchill.
All right.
No, he's got rock hard. He was chubbing up, now he's rock hard.
What was the other one? The Lone Ranger.
So Beyonce was saying, I have a little mommy pouch. And she says, I'm into no rush to get rid of it. I think it's real. Whenever I'm ready to get a six-pack, I will go into beast zone and work my ass off until I have it.
You know,
But right now, my little FUPA and I feel like we were meant to be.
and you know what though? It's so wild because her work ethic. Every time I like read about Beyonce, it's just like how strong of a work ethic she has. Like she is the one that like gets like 0 hours of sleep and then goes back and performs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, I have nothing bad to say
No
about
bad
like.
words.
I'm mad at her.
I mean, it
We were just looking at some tweets that people posted to that.
About their fupas?
What I really liked is this guy. He said that my little FUPA is powerful than My Little Pony.
It's greater than my little
Greater
pony.
than, yeah.
I mean,
Oh
I don't
my
like.
god.
That's a registered check mark too. Another woman said Beyonce spoke on diversifying the big opportunities for everyone. Saying how it's okay for men to be vulnerable and sensitive, to lying about having a FUPA, to make herself seem like
That's what I'm talking about.
woman.
That's that fucking conspiracy theory. Like, oh, she never really gave birth.
You think she's just trying to like fit in with? She's really a lizard, or?
I believe so.
And this is on record.
Lizard person.
Beyonce and Jay-Z are both lizard people. They came from
The Illuminati and the Bohemian Grove.
Don't get me started on the Bohemian Grove. But no, this is got kind of shit
The
where like
Rothschild.
you're under a microscope and it's like, okay, cool. You say something to try to empower people, and people are like, oh no, that never really happened. You're too perfect for this.
You have to like transcend. You have to be like a Beyonce type character for people to they celebrate your flaws. You know, like most of the time, people just enjoy ripping other people down and like mocking them.
Yeah,
and
I feel like that's kind of what they're doing here. But I think like
well, they're on Beyonce's side.
well, not this one. This one's saying that this is sarcastic, right? Like,
No. Or I think he's being sarcastic, like, she doesn't really have a FUPA because she's so perfect.
Yeah, but she's trying to
make
herself
sweet
seem like
and
the
say
average.
Oh, I
woman.
see what you guys are
Still
saying.
have
I
a
see.
That
I
she
see what you guys-
doesn't look like.
But and she also has like personal trainers and shit like that.
Yeah,
but I mean,
yeah.
like it's good for her to like put that up. I do think this article is ridiculous. It's called Beyonce shouts out my little FUPA in Vogue, and people are here for it. That's
just one
ridiculous.
of those just like meaningless points.
Like you're
They
trying.
say for word.
Yeah.
That's what this seems like to me. It's like that nothing else was going on. It's like I have to write this thing. What's going on?
Yeah.
And this is
That's-
literally they're
and
covering
that's-
another magazine.
Dude, we can
Talking about
legitimately
it,
get into
yeah.
like internet journalism where it's just like you take one blurb and you make a whole like hate argument about somebody about it. Like I've seen so many LeBron stuff like that.
So, all right, with that, you guys want to go on?
Yeah, my bad. I
No,
derailed the whole.
No, I enjoyed the hell out of
We
it.
record this out of Sunny
I
Side.
want to actually stand up and salute you. This is an oldie but goodie. We haven't done it in a while.
Is it the poop watch?
Nah, it's called Waiting on a Friend.
Let me just go first. I love NSYNC. My favorite.
It's Waiting on a Friend. We don't usually get to do this segment,
This is a
so
rare segment, one of my favorites.
but it's pretty damn good.
Welcome to Waiting on a Friend.
Big Daddy's here.
Jolly music.
All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna
So
get
Big
right
Daddy's
to it.
here, and we're gonna get into the nitty gritty.
Now this segment is all about friends, you know.
Yeah.
Best friends, people just helping each other out. I can
Yeah.
tell from the
Or
look
maybe
on
failing
Artemio's face
at helping
that
each
he
other
doesn't
out,
look to be
possibly.
very happy right now. But
What it means to have a friend or to be a friend.
what it
I guess you could say.
means.
we're gonna get right into it.
As evidenced in Keith and Mick Rolling Stones song "Waiting on a Friend."
Man,
If
everything's
you guys
just
were a
coming out.
classic rock character, I mean, I guess person, who would you be?
I don't know.
I would be.
I think we're kind of the Mick and Keith of this.
Yeah.
I want to be the bass player from the Guns N' Roses that got fucked up on heroin.
Oh my god!
Sweet.
Cool.
Wait, do you mean Sid Vicious? Oh no, that's another guy. Never mind.
Yeah, I'll do that too.
my
Man, that's
God.
fine.
All right, so
What about
waiting,
John Lennon.
John Lennon.
waiting on a friend. A
I want to
panic.
be Ringo Starr. I
Hel-
want to be the guy that survived. Because
Because
Paul McCartney got body swapped. Everybody knows that that's true.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it.
What's that?
That Paul McCartney got body swapped. You're not familiar.
Oh yeah, we've done whole shows. On
That's
that.
why I want to be
We did.
Ringo, who was obviously the Ringo leader of the whole Beatles.
Hold this photograph.
Yeah, you know.
Oh.
All
You
right,
know what?
so
I either want to be him or the lead singer of KORN. Because I want to be the best rock group of all time. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the lead singer of KORN.
I'm Jonathan Davis.
Boom bop da bee da bee da bee da ba da. You've never heard of scat before, obviously.
Oh my god. You're just being a freak on a leash right now.
Honestly, I've hijacked the radio.
Hey, all right, so,
And we're back.
Panic police tape man's hand
Now that part was cut out,
on
you don't even know what
grenade
we're talking
safety.
about.
Okay, let me say this. Panic police tape man's hand on grenade safely catch.
Safety.
What is it? Safety catch. After his soldier friend pulled the pin out and handed it to him during an argument.
Holy shit.
You guys, we've all
That's
been
like a
there before.
Tarantino scene.
We've
like
all
you're in
been
an
there.
argument and you just go, you know what, motherfucker? And you pull the pin
I
out.
want to
and put it in
fucking
his
die
hand.
here. I want to
He's
fucking
just like,
die.
what am I going to do? What if I let go?
Okay, so the Ukrainian soldier fell out with a friend and handed him a live grenade.
Here, you're pissing me off.
Okay.
Take this fucking grenade.
Take this. You took my goat.
And this is
Oh
coming
my God.
straight from Daily Mail.
The Daily Mail.
He said,
CO.uk.
Oh, the Daily Red? The Daily Worker?
he said the man's friend, a soldier in the Ukrainian army, had pulled the pin out of a grenade and given it to him before running
I pull
off.
pin.
Here, take this.
Now
That's
I'm going
like
to run off.
the worst game of hot potato ever.
Yeah.
The pair,
Nice.
whose names have not been released, have fallen out. Or had been falling out and been fighting in the city
We're
of
not friends
Durnop
anymore.
in southern Ukraine's.
Wait, Dante, I didn't hear. I didn't hear what you said. What's the name of that city? Hey, Dante.
Zerndrop or something? Yeah.
There's no R in the front of it. There's no R in the
This
front of
is
it.
gonna end.
Go
I
on.
don't know. It's some
Bro.
fucking hellhole, Eastern Bloc hellhole.
That looks like a typo from
Yeah.
a lazy
It's
article writer.
It says the soldier who had
Yeah,
just
really.
been returned from active duty in the war in Donbass in Eastern
That says
Ukraine.
dumbass, actually, so you need to reread it.
Allegedly said to his unfortunate friend, "Here, hold this."
Oh my god.
The man put his hand
Here,
out,
hold
expecting
this.
to receive the man's mobile phone, only to see what looked alarmingly like a live grenade. Now, how would you describe the man? He doesn't holding the grenade.
Have you ever watched Lord of the Rings?
Distress. I'll say distress.
Have you ever seen a sad Gollum?
Yeah, the opposite of
Master
Gollum.
doesn't hurt it. Master's a friend!
It's the opposite of the ring.
Yeah,
like-
it's the Bizarro Golem because he
Yeah.
wants to give the ring away desperately, but he
Yeah,
can't.
but he can't. Yeah.
Um,
There's a quest in Skyrim where it's like the guy has that werewolf ring and he can't take it off.
Preach. That's Elder Scrolls, actually.
Yeah.
it said he automatically pressed down on the weapon safety lever to stop it from detonating, but soon realized that he was in a residential area of the town and had no safe space to throw it.
I'm not. I would be so much less worried about that than the fact that no matter where I was and threw it, it would fucking kill me.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, you're not a super soldier
Yeah,
because
you're not
Steve.
Ukrainian.
Like
Steve,
he's like, oh,
Steve
it could hurt
Rogers.
other people. It's like,
You know,
yeah, but like, even when you go out in the middle of the woods, it'll kill you.
You know what's weird? I was talking about this with guys last night. We were talking about like movies we cried to, and I was like, every time that when I watch Captain America: The First Avenger, when Steve Rogers dives over the grenade to save everybody, and he's like, get out of here. I tear up every time I see
That's
that.
where they establish
Like,
who he
The
is.
exactly.
The
The idea that he would sacrifice himself to
Yeah.
save somebody. And like
And he instinctively did it.
yeah, it was just like, oh fuck, I have to save people that I love. Like,
Yeah.
I'm choking
And
up right
Tommy
now
Lee
talking about it.
Jones really got a kick out of it.
He hated that he was like that tight when you rewatch it because
Fucking loved it. Yeah. Oh yeah, he hated that he
Tommy
was
Lee
the one that
Jones.
did it.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones was full hard dog against.
Against Steve Rogers.
Yeah. This kind of
And-
shit
and
where
he was
it's like
tiny.
where it's like somebody's like, here, hold this. Use this live grenade. Hold on to it for
Yeah.
a split second. How fucked up is that?
It's the
I've
opposite of
pulled-
Steve Rogers.
It says, knowing he would not be able to hold the safety lever down forever, he started screaming for help.
Yeah.
Several passerbys rushed to his aid, and seeing the grenade in his hand, called the police, who raced to the scene.
You just have to
I'd be like, I'm gonna call the police, but like, I'm gonna get out of here. Sorry. You know, like in case you let go of the thing.
well, I keep thinking about
But I'll
Look at
call the
these.
police.
that's so funny the way that they articled it or that wrote about it. Like, oh, he couldn't hold on to this grenade. Fuck you! I can hold on for a grenade for a good 48 hours before. Like, what is
I
he
don't
like?
know, at a certain point,
He was like,
Oh, yeah, I
you'd
think
be
he...
getting pretty.
And I don't know what the grip is like on
Yeah, I don't
a
know if it's
Ukrainian grenade.
Oh, like spring
Plus, it'd be
leaded, like
just-
fucking.
It'd
Yeah.
be so nerve wracking.
Yeah. Says pictures show a number of policemen surrounding him on the ground, bravely helping him hold onto the grenade's safety lever. At one point, they even used sticky tape to secure their hands to the grenades. They did not slip
This sounds
off.
convoluted.
Triggering an explosion.
That makes sense.
The bomb squad experts finally arrived on the scene and quickly determined that the grenade was a replica with no explosives
shit.
inside.
Oh my god!
Because I was gonna
dude.
say, could they get
Best
something
prank
similar?
ever. That is fire.
the best prank.
That is fire, dude. I thought it was live. I was like, dude, you don't do that to your buddy. But
And it
now that I
worked
know
as
it's
a prank and as like the type of prank you do when you're seriously mad, like to actually. Because
must
he
have
did
been
it
really sour
You know, yeah,
with
he did
that
it to
guy.
like. That's not just darn you got hot dogs in the shoes. That's like you make the person think they might die.
I love the callback, by the way.
Yeah.
But
so you think
that
he
is,
could
that
die.
is 100% amazing.
You know, I was wondering if they have some way of putting something in the pinhole so then you can like let go. I mean, I know
That's,
you
what,
could
that's
just
what I was
stick-
thinking too. Like you grip
I'm
it,
sure it's not
you
that
pull the
easy,
pin.
But you know the thing is,
There
you
might
have
be
to use
something.
another grenade pin, and
Like
now that grenade would be live.
The
Honestly,
trail never ends.
It's a classic tale of dominoes, brother.
The soldier was later arrested at a home nearby and faces up to 7 years in jail if he's convicted. That's kind of bullshit.
Yeah,
But
How much years?
7 years if
Wow.
convicted.
for a prank.
Yeah.
Dude, he was just a pranking, bro. That was way
It's
better
pretty-
than any
pretty bad, though. Yeah, I
Jake
don't know about
Paul
7 years,
Logan
but-
or Logan
I
Paul.
think
It's
if you
worse than
if you
Logan
slap
Paul.
a punk if you slap a punk on the side that we're
Everything's
that we're
fine.
seeing, yeah.
Dax
Yeah.
Shepherd just runs out. It's like,
Don't
oh,
get
we're gonna
me.
blow your fucking
Do
hand
not
off.
bring up Dax Shepherd.
I kind of wanted to
again.
because I know you were here. How do you-
Oh yeah, we've brought up Dax Shepherd on a podcast before.
You have
Hella
beef
care
with
about
him.
him.
laid into him.
Yeah.
Brother, first of all, Dax Shepherd.
On first of all.
It was like the Trump-Clinton debates.
Yeah.
Dax Shepherd is MAGA. So
Well, speaking
my
of MAGA,
God.
should we just go straight into the next story?
I don't like where it's headed, but yeah, sure.
We're just gonna do it. All right.
So that was it for waiting on.
That's
a friend.
waiting on a friend.
That's not a good friend this time. That's
Ah.
my conclusion.
Yeah, I don't agree.
That's my verdict.
Living in America.
Hey, hey, hey. Woo! Woo!
All right.
What is it? Vision division.
Vision of vision.
Something like that.
All right, let's get right into it. This is great because Art's here, so he's the other side. To
Oh
tell
wow, I feel welcome.
All right, so Aerosmith's Steven Tyler tells Trump to stop playing band's music.
Good for them.
This
Why'd
is
she tell him that?
This is so weird
She shouldn't
because
have said that.
that's so weird because it's a combination of two entities that I do not like.
So it's the lesser of two evils.
So yeah, who's the
situation?
lesser of two evils in
Yeah.
this? In this?
I think I hated, and this is like I feel like I hated Trump more because he played Aerosmith.
So you're so if Steven Tyler is successful, you will actually like
Hate Trump
like
more.
Trump a little bit.
Yeah,
more.
you're then by
I'll hate-
default.
I'll
No,
hate-
because he won't be able to play their music. So it'll actually make you hate him a little bit less.
Yeah, I will like Aerosmith more. But yeah, fucking.
See what I'm saying?
Dude, look at all
Living
this.
on the edge, dude.
I just whenever I
And let me
Living
get this
on the
clear because Steven Tyler PJ is super rapey. And I
Wait,
I
wait,
hate
what do you
Trump.
mean?
going on?
I hate Trump more than I hate that guy.
Okay,
So that's
okay.
that's
That's kind of a strange thing to think when you think Steven Tyler. I think of bandanas.
But did you guys see that? The America's Next. They were doing the America's
Make America Great Again.
the fucking
MAGA.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
America's
doing
Got
that.
Talent.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
And that it was like a little girl. She might have been like 17 or 18 and came through, and
That's not a
Tyler-
little girl though.
It is
Okay.
like
yeah. You said 18 though.
17 or 18.
Okay,
I feel
yeah,
like,
yeah.
but he's however old.
No,
he
yeah,
is,
yeah, okay,
like,
yeah.
And he's just like, hey, what's going on? Like he was getting flirtatious, and the dad was there. He's like, nope, not gonna happen.
Who?
And like, the dad of the
Tyler?
girl, the dad of the girl that was like auditioning, and he was just
For
like,
what?
America's Got Talent.
Oh.
Steven Tyler.
American Idol. It was American
He was
Idol.
a
It was,
judge.
it was American Idol, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
it was
Steven
one of
Tyler
those.
was a judge on
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, and he was like, hey, like, and he's leaning forward on his desk, and he's like, yeah, this and that. And like the dad's
It's like,
like, yeah, no, this is not gonna go down.
Really?
Like, fuck you.
What a
Like,
boss. Good for him.
and like the idea that Tyler is just like, yeah, I can do that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
He's
fuck
just
you,
like this
you
old
gross
guy.
old
Well,
creep.
didn't he? I thought someone said that he like banged out his daughter. Like, Not his, or his Liv Tyler's
That
daughter,
was
just
a
Liv.
hard line to sell right there.
It's a rumor that's going
Oh
around.
man, that's weird because I thought it was Liv Taylor.
Yeah, they're not related though, right?
Wait,
It's not his daughter.
are you talking about Elizabeth Taylor?
Yeah.
Did I just try to make the same joke?
Yeah.
Dude, this is a rough sketch,
Liz Taylor,
guys.
so they're not sketch. Yeah, I wrote
This is high IQ comedy, man. Okay, so
No one will care though because it won't be in the.
yeah. Nobody will hear it anyways. All right.
But yeah, he's a super duper creep, and the idea that he's like, I don't want this creep around my creep music.
I don't want that creep around my creepy music. All right, let's just get to
what
it.
Aerosmith
Yeah,
song
what is that?
Aerosmith
is good? Other than
on the edge.
Aerosmith
God.
Steven Tyler felt some sweet emotion and a little jaded when he heard President Trump use his band song "Living on the Edge" before a campaign
and this is
rally.
coming from
CNN Politics.
CNN.com/politics.
Okay, so it said, in a cease and desist letter sent Wednesday, Tyler had his attorneys tell the president he could dream on if he thought he could continue using the song.
That is rough.
It just gets better.
These article writers are just like,
They're terrible.
And then
They
here's
go to college for this. This is not about Democrat versus Republican, Steven Tyler said.
right.
It's not about letting anybody...
It's not about honking on a bobo.
Fuck Craig for...
Woof,
I know what that
yeah.
means.
You guys aren't fans
I do
of rock
not
music?
let anyone use my songs without my permission. You have to have my permission. My music is for causes, not political campaigns or rallies. Protecting copyright songwriters is what I've been fighting for, even before the current administration. I've never heard that. This is one of the reasons why Joe and I have been pushing the Senate to pass the Music Modernization Act. No is a complete sentence.
Dude, so I'm not bullshitting. Did Donald Trump not come out to like Cherry Pie?
Did
During
he?
his-
He's my
Cherry Pie. I think it was, I do believe it was she is my cherry pie.
Yeah, not he.
But that's legit too. I'm into it. But yeah, there was some rock star that was like, no, you can't. Like during Trump's campaign, where they were just like, you can't use my song.
Yeah, that happens like
I was going to say,
all the time.
Yeah, for every political
Or
party.
people try and use
but-
rage.
But
sometimes.
I thought it was just funny that I swear to God, I thought that it was some kind of like cock rock band that Trump would just walk out to, where they're just like, you can't give it. It was like,
what if
Twisted.
it was the Pink Floyd "Young Lust"? That I am just a new boy,
well, I know.
stranger in this town.
Didn't Bruce Springsteen or Reagan was using "Born in the USA," or rather, Ronald Reagan was using.
Was Reagan
Dude,
using it?
have you
Born in the
guys?
USA and Springsteen.
You know, I like this song.
But you said
I was born in the USA like Bruce. And
Dude,
you thought Trump was...
you know,
It was some fucking
I'd
80s
like to be
cock rock
president,
band that he was just
please.
like fucking.
just MAGA. There's just explosions going on.
He is the guy that would run up to like, there's fucking,
Yeah.
what is it called? The Roman candles where like it blows off and he's like, he does he does a suck a symbol. He does a suck a symbol. And he goes, hey, I'm trying to get all these ignorant immigrants out of this fucking. I got a wall. Let me tell you about it.
Right?
And they're gonna pay for
Just
it.
the grossest slime he can fucking. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a little topical.
Oh no, I love it. All right, so
But cherry pie is, what is it, ubiquitous, where it's like it goes both ways.
it means asshole. That's
Oh
what
my
he's talking
God.
about, right?
So yeah, I guess it could
Cherry
go both
pie?
ways.
Yeah.
Well, I'll show you it later.
I thought he was talking about a butt.
Should we pause the thing so you can show them what your cherry pie
Let's
is?
pause for the cause.
All right, everybody, stay tuned. We'll be back after this.
When it comes to defending our nation and protecting our way of life, the only thing we can't afford is inaction. The American people deserve our very best, and they will have it. As the President will discuss in further detail in the days ahead, the United States Space Force will strengthen our security. It will ensure our prosperity. And it will also carry American ideals into the boundless expanse of space. While other nations increasingly possess the capability to operate in space, not all of them share our commitment to freedom, private property, and the rule of law.
And the rule of law.
Carry American leadership in space. so also will we carry America's commitment to freedom
We
into
need more
this new
covenant diplomacy. Blow Taylor.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Spend the Night Together. Last segment,
Yeah.
and boy howdy is it a good one.
Holy Toledo.
We hope you're not eating anything.
I know that
you're on that Space Force.
I know that you're not, especially after that fucking Space Force speech.
You didn't like the Space Force, man?
Everything that was in your belly is now out. You're welcome. And now we're back with Let's Spend the Night Together. And I'm the fucking guest. I'm not
Just talking shit.
I've got no
I
ties.
love when the guest trashes
Bogart.
the show.
Yeah, I just Hey, what do you
We
guys
have a policy here on the show: is fuck the fans.
Is this what you guys
just
do?
Natural.
Is this how you guys live? You guys make
I
money?
wanna take the clip of Art saying that, like, welcome back to the show. And use that in every episode.
No, but I'm still excited to be here. Question mark.
Do you want to go? How long do you guys are feeling like going?
I think this podcast could go on for another,
I want to go 0 to 100
I think,
real quick.
9-10 hours.
9-10
Okay.
hours.
Well, let's ask the audience. Call us in.
Right now.
Let us know
All right.
how long you want it
This
to
one's
go.
just gonna.
I mean,
I think
you guys are probably thinking we're just getting started.
And if not, like, we can keep going.
we
So,
just fired up the content kitchen. We're gonna be here for hours.
You know, it's so
That's how I
weird.
feel.
They can just turn it off if they don't like it. That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Listen
That's
to as
true.
much content as you want until you're tired.
Because
Just
we're
turn it
content
off.
creators.
Yeah.
I mean, we might be able to create the content for 2 more segments.
We're
I don't know.
influencers. We're creators.
We are influencers.
We're innovators.
Co-conspirators.
That as well.
Imagineers.
Consigliaries. All right, let's just fucking
The
do
thing
it,
about
guys.
you guys is you guys are Imagineers.
Let's just.
We're nihilists.
Yeah, we believe in nothing. All right, we're cruising the world right now.
Wait, what did you say? Imagineers?
You said that.
Oh. Wait, what did you say?
I repeated it.
Oh.
As always, fellow travelers, we go around the world and we talk about something. Now,
I'm
I've
still just laughing about Imagineers for some reason. Okay.
I have.
Oh my God.
I've saved this one.
Dude, this sideline is insane.
Sorry, you were saying something to me and Art who are known for being weary travelers.
Okay, so we're talking about stories from all around the world. I'm just looking at this.
And we don't know.
I'm not
Me and Art have no idea.
I
the
just threw this
headline's
at you
right over
guys,
there.
and now you've seen the headline. And so this story
Woof.
comes from Asia.
Is that
So it's
me
cruising-
on the
it's
left
cruising-
side? Is that me on the left side with that stash?
it
So
says
this is Cruis'n World.
Cruis'n
our
World. It's our
news-
travel
news. I'll say
segment.
music news. Yeah, our travel segment. Our
We just
news
hit
from
neutral
around
because we're
the
cruising.
world. So we don't just do U.S. stories.
No,
That's our
no,
idea.
We're all around
this
the
is
world.
global.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the headline.
I'm a
there's
globalist.
A chef. You're globalist. All welcome.
Cracking open a cold one.
Sorry.
We suggest you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time you hear that snap, you better jug a bear.
Cosmopolitan is welcome here. All right, there you go.
This headline is
Uh,
nutso.
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
having a
so
Long Island
the
iced
chef
tea.
cooks his penis, serves it up for dinner in Tokyo.
Okay.
Okay.
You added the word his.
Fake news. Fake news. Fake news.
Cooks his penis. Like he didn't even cut it off. He just put it on the skillet while he was standing right in front of the skillet.
Yeah, I feel like there's a hard difference between chef cooks his penis or chef
sorry.
cooks penis.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I went a little cross-eyed
This is
there.
coming straight off the.
Okay, yeah, excuse me.
So it's probably like a good friend or
chef
family
cooks-
member's penis.
Dante, what's the source material here? What is that? How do you pronounce that?
This is Kotaku.
Kentucky.
Okay, so
I've seen
a
that
chef
shit
cooks penis, serves it up for
I've seen
dinner
this
in
shit around.
Tokyo.
I've seen that website.
And let's just talk about it. All right, so an illustrator, Mao Sigiyama, tweeted a simple proposition.
My favorite
It seems simple, yeah.
writer.
Mao's male genitals, penis, testicles, and scrotum,
Oh yeah.
as a
Penis, testicles,
100,000
and
yen meal.
What? That's so.
The
weird.
illustrator even offered to cook them himself.
Wait,
Do you
he
think
tweeted
is this
so
person? Do you think that this person
Of
is like
sound mind?
transgender and they're just like?
Oh,
I can
we're-
do you think it's a? And this is a hardball fucking joke, but
Yeah.
do you think it's similar to when Kyle was like, "I'll get rid of my dick"?
Oh, on Workaholics.
Yeah, it's just like-
and he's like, "You can have it." Is
I-
that the idea? It's like charity.
I just dust it off.
I'm
the
losing
with
it
I
anyway.
throw some dirt on it and clean it
So
up.
I'm losing
Mao.
it anyway. You may as well just
Yeah.
chop it up, cook it up. Who cares?
Mao is not a real chef, and admitted as much.
Surprisingly.
But was offering a real plate of penis. The 22-year-old Sugiyama, Mao Sugiyama, is also not a man or a woman.
Of course not. No.
The illustrator is asexual.
We're reading off the site.
Yeah, which is sometimes called a smoothie. I've never had one of those at what is that?
I've had a
Jamba Juice.
Jamba Juice, yeah.
I'll take an asexual 22-year-old.
I have had a chocolate mood, but not.
Oh, it's a chocolate mood, but not a penis shake.
Yeah.
You guys have never had a JB smoothie?
Yeah.
I'll take a Sugiyama penis and a mango a-go-go
Oh man.
and a strawberries wild.
So
And some wheat juice.
So 5 diners.
Wheatgrass.
The 6th one didn't.
He prefers
take
not
some
to be. We
wheatgrass.
haven't even got to the good part yet, so this is.
Well, they got to it before we did.
And he
They paid for it.
Mao prefers
drink
not to
so
be
many
called he
smoothies.
or she, so I want to respect that for the remainder.
Well,
of
that's interesting because asexual. I thought that like
Smoothie.
you're allowed to be like a gender, but you just are like, yeah, I just am not into sex.
Well,
Um,
I think you're
'cause
right. But I
yeah,
think
yeah.
This
Isn't
This
Janine
smoothie is both.
Janine
This is something
Garofalo
else.
has like stated that
I
she's
think they're
asexual?
Are you claiming on the show that Janine Garofalo is in fact a smoothie?
Wow!
I think
Coming straight out of the
you're
horse's
right,
mouth.
But they're saying they're
I have.
asexual and
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 prefers
no
not to be.
gender.
And prefers not to be.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, guys. I've had a couple. Mike's Hard Lemonades. I've had a couple wine coolers today, so I skipped
So
a
if
couple wines.
Sugiyama is a smoothie, does that mean wheatgrass comes out of his dick? Or her?
One
smoothie's
can
dick?
only hope. Would you
Yeah.
be first in line?
I knew there was
back to
something
Dante.
about
There was
that.
something
Those
brewing.
wheatgrass, yeah.
If it comes out green, though, that's worrisome, isn't it?
If so, we're gonna have to pause the podcast and I'll go talk to my doctor.
Yeah, that's just like your opinion, man.
Like-
And
Fucking
I'm your
seriously,
doctor, so
tell
here
me
we
right
go.
now.
Show me, pull off the flop, zip it down.
Hey, doc.
Does this look infected?
Hey, Artemio, did I turn off the podcast? Okay, I think I did.
It looks
Hey,
pretty good to
doc,
me.
My cock, it's making green cum. Oh, fuck, the podcast is still on. Never mind, I'll call you back.
So, wait. The doctor's here. So what's wrong with that?
So, you guys will hear a pause. The listeners will hear a pause because I just edited something out.
And
don't worry about it.
on the next issue,
like Doc,
you tune in to
I have
see
green
what.
cum.
what
It looks like
Craig's,
Groot's coming out of my
edit that
dick.
What's
Groot.
Okay.
Craig had I am Groot in his penis.
I am Groot. Yeah.
We are Groot.
Okay, so
now it's we instead of
so now so Mao and his Mao's penis. Right?
Mao and Smoothie's penis.
So 5 diners, the 6th one didn't show for whatever reason. Cold feet. I hate people that flake.
I fucking hate flakers, dude.
Paid the equivalent of the 250
Dick eating
US.
flakers.
Maybe they don't want to pay $250 though to dine on a little bait and tackle.
To dine on his bait and tackle. I like how they have a little, they have a little levity talking about the situation.
Dude, this
He
article
cut
is
off his
written.
worm and
This,
used it as
this,
bait and tackle.
I know that we're pulling directly off this article, but
Yeah.
this is
We're
written
commentators.
way
this
too. This is
We're
written way too
content
cute.
creators.
Like this is
Yeah.
written with way too many
I
little
know that's what's
funnies.
funny. Is like this is how we would describe it, all like
Yeah.
lighthearted, and
Yeah,
silly
yeah.
like that. But it's not even us. It's
This
the author of
this
the
is
fucking
a professional
Kotaku
that's
article.
like, hey, a little bait and tackle.
Yeah, a little bait
Like
and tackle.
they're dick and balls. Do you get what I'm saying? Fucking chill out.
So this is the bait and tackle. Sign in a waiver to release Mao Sugiyama and the event organizers of responsibility in case they eat like a rancid ball or something and they get sick.
a rancid ball.
You know,
My balls went bad.
My ball bag.
What am I-
Unzip my bag and check in there. Make sure they're okay.
One of my favorite lines
Before
from
you cook it
Ready
up
to
and eat
Rumble. Obviously the step above Godfather Part 2, Ready to Rumble.
Yes.
When he drops, if you lose your left nut, is it still your left nut?
I think that's something scholars have been asking for.
It's like, if you
millennia.
If you had to,
I
you only
believe
have.
Socrates and Plato debated that
But-
very thing.
If you lose one of two, is it still one of two?
No, I
or is
get
it still?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm like,
Guys,
I'll have to think about
I'm
it.
waxing a little philosophical
Oh my
over
God.
here, so you got.
No, it's just your nut, and you lost the other nut.
It says the illustrator claimed to be disease-free, which is very important.
Prove it.
And had not started going through female hormone therapy.
Well, if there were any crabs, you could just make like pubic crab cakes.
Okay, so I'm having trouble reading it. So are they transitioning?
Yeah.
You are.
So these genitals were functioning properly prior to the 12,000 operation.
Okay, so Mao's genitals. So the genitals were functioning properly prior to 12,000. Prior to the $12,000 operation earlier this spring, and is measured about 6.3 inches when he's erect. So,
oh my God, 6.3 inches? That's fucking huge.
So,
he's got a rig.
Oh, he's got a rig on him.
That's big.
She had a rig.
Mal, you got a rig. Why would you want to? That's
I mean, you know what though?
I mean, 6.3 is nothing to me.
Yeah.
I don't even.
Like Kobayashi.
What is that? What is that in centimeters? Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm really short. All right.
At the dinner, Mao's discarded privates were served with Italian parsley and garnished with button mushroom.
That's so weird to serve a ween with
Were they served with Rocky
That's
Mountain
a mushroom
oysters?
tip.
I just
served
wanna
with a
make sure
mushroom
that
tip.
That's why it's mushroom.
Hopefully,
Italian, because Italian people have big dicks.
No, I mean,
hopefully it was in season.
It's just weird that they serve I get it if somebody's transitioning. That's fine, and that's completely appropriate.
Totally fine to cook their
and
penis.
everybody
But
loves a home-cooked meal.
You're always going to cook
That's
that
what's
person's
weird about it.
penis.
It's like, you know what? I'll
If
just
you're
serve
putting it
my
to
dick
waste.
to people. That'll be fun, right?
Yeah.
It's gamey. It's like a little. It's like
It's like a
gator
little
meat.
Cornish hen.
It's like getting a blowjob, but you don't even feel it. You're feeding your dick to this person.
You're eating weed.
Why do it when it's separated from your body and cooked on a fucking on a wok?
Yeah,
a hot wok.
it's just a weird way to
Kung
transition.
Pao
I guess
sauce.
is what my bottom line is. You know what I mean? It's just a weird way to transition.
Well, I guess these people are going to eat my penis.
But you
wait,
think-
why did you say Sugiyama? Well, I'm transitioning.
You know,
Why are people eating your penis? What are you talking about?
the guy's got
It's
half a
regular.
spoonful in his mouth. He's like, I'm sorry.
like,
These
wait,
two are
but why-
talking. One guy's in on the joke, and he's like, "Hey, what? You're serving what? What?" And the other guy's like, fucking second spoonful into his mouth. What?
the second plate. I'd already come
He's
back
laughing it up.
just licking the dish, licking the plate.
Well, it's 6.3 inches, so goddamn, yeah, that's a couple
I've
plates.
never heard of
That's a
one
big
that big.
schlong.
I mean,
So
Mine's that big.
It said a licensed chef helped the illustrator prepare the
mine's
meal.
not small.
So that's a hell of
Sorry.
a wanted ad right there, like looking for a chef to help me cook my dick.
Oh my
The
god.
website Calorie Lab apparently contacted the police about this.
So again, we're reading
What
off
a bunch
of,
of haters.
But like, is this going to be
Cat,
illegal when we cook this
Q.com.
thing up?
I don't know. Are we gonna have to go to prison? Do I
Yeah.
need a lawyer?
They're
for
like,
this
and the
meal?
cops were probably like,
Hey,
I don't
bro.
fucking know if that's illegal. Never arrested someone for cooking someone else's
So it
penis.
said they contacted the police about this, who pointed out that there are no laws against cannibalism in Japan, and that the event was not exactly illegal.
Yeah, fucking
Still,
eat a dick.
authorities are looking into the event.
Meanwhile,
They're just like, yeah.
Sugiyama has been answering questions on Twitter about the dinner, as well as plotting an eventual video release of the dinner in which the phrase "eat a dick" took a very little meaning.
So
That's-
wait,
this
so
author's
he
just
has
having
he's
fun.
going- Can we find the video?
More photos in the
Can we
link?
find the video?
Who said there's photos?
You know what it makes me think of? You know when a turkey's garnished with a lot of greens around it? It's just a donger. It's like
Oh, no.
God.
Eat a dick. So the video called "Eat a Dick," which is kind of
You
like
know what?
It's an
It's-
insult.
The video's called "Eat a Dick."
it's like a what's it called? Like a tenderloin. All right, hey,
no.
fives,
Oh my
fives.
God.
Nobody's
No.
clapping.
Warning: I don't
Do not
I can't
watch
fi- I
it. Do
can't
not
find
watch
it.
it.
I can't
Yeah,
find
I
it.
would not.
It
I'm
said
not
there's
into it.
photos.
Sorry, folks. Where?
Tokyo transsexual cooks and serves his own genitals.
Oh, is
in
it down
public.
here?
Don't
Yeah,
do
it's
it.
down here.
Ugh.
You don't have to look at it if you don't want to.
Well, I'm in the podcast.
Oh, it's
I'm
so
in
cool
the
looking.
mainframe.
Oh,
I thought
wait.
those lizards for a split second. What's popping
They
up
make
is
t-shirts
t-shirts of
of it?
lizards. I thought it'd be weird for a split second if it was just dongers. It's like tie-dye
On
t-shirts.
t-shirts? Why would that be weird?
That wouldn't be weird. Honestly, I'm pro for whatever people.
Yeah, there's
Penis
no.
t-shirts?
I can't find any photos, so sadly.
Thank God.
I think we'll have to end it.
Were you like,
Genital banquet?
It's almost like a. I can't find pictures of these guys eating.
I
The
think
genital banquet looks
Well,
cool.
the night's ruined, guys.
Yeah,
I guess we
night's
got
ruined,
nothing
guys.
left to talk
It
about.
says, police shrug, quote, it's not illegal.
But they're not wrong about that, Dom.
Yeah,
it isn't illegal.
that's true.
And so what I would argue is that I don't know, like do whatever you want to do. I just don't think it's fair. Well,
You still have the do whatever you want to do attitude even after.
Well,
I
what I'm
just think
saying-
it's not fair
well, no,
that only
I'm-
like a few people get to taste that tasty delicacy.
Sharing is
you know
caring.
what? I'll mark you in for my next appointment. So what I'm getting at is, yeah, it's just weird that they would serve. Well, so were these people like knowledgeable? I'm sorry, I was.
Yeah, they paid. They knowingly pay.
That is.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
They didn't think it was a kielbasa or
Yeah,
something.
kielbasa sausage, your butt cheeks is
pepperoni.
warm. Yeah, no, it's good, man. So whatever, yeah, that's fine. What's wrong with this article?
I
Nothing.
don't know. I'll tell you when I get my surgery.
Yeah. Well,
So,
there's a
make
hell
sure
of a
you're
way,
hungry.
you know, if you're going to spend so much money on a surgery to get your cock cut off.
Well, I'm getting a penile
$12,000
transplant.
operation to get your dick cut off.
Well, I'm getting a.
Yeah, you don't want it
I'm
to
get-
go to waste.
Well, you might as well make some money back, you know, on the back end.
So,
that's true,
sorry,
yeah.
me and Craig have not told you. So
Because he's probably going to be putting a lot of things in.
we're
his
holding
back
hands
end.
during this segment,
Probably.
but Craig
Oh, yeah.
is going to cut off the last 6 inches of his 18-inch and
my
give it to
God.
me. So,
Yeah.
Wow.
And then it'll
problem
just the head part will just kind of regrow for me.
well, what I'm going to do is I'm
salamander.
It'll take a while.
going to
yeah.
stitch it tip to tip.
that right?
We're doing this by ourselves, by the way. We are.
You don't believe
Wait,
in,
you're gonna go. When you sew mine onto yours, it's gonna be tip to tip.
you don't believe
You
in
didn't know that?
Western
How is
medicine?
that gonna work? So we'll both have
Obviously.
like a cut stub. On
It's
it.
like
cauterized burn.
two what is it? Is it Thune?
Cock?
Where it's like the alien fucking
Two penises.
no, what is it called? That
What am I
sci-fi,
talking?
the sci-fi show where it's like the worms are in the ground.
Dr.
Tremors?
Is it Thune or Trune?
Dune?
Dune. Yeah, I got the two Dune worms just fucking connecting in the
Under your
mouth.
dick?
I stitched that bad boy up, and I got a fat cock in the front.
Oh, my.
That's cool.
So it goes fat
People
cock,
start calling you fat cock art.
fat cock, thin a little bit, and then fat cock again. So it's good to go.
Wow.
I throw my foreskin over it, and it's good to go. People
Oh
don't
my
see.
God.
People don't want to know how the sausage is made.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes you
is
told me.
that what it would be where it's thin, and is that what you're talking
You
about?
told me
So
one
it's like a
time-
Head to head,
sausage?
the head. But my foreskin goes over it, so it's chill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
How
told me
is
one
your
time
foreskin doing these days?
It's doing
Going pretty
really
good?
well. It's excited.
You said your foreskin was so big you could use it as a hang glider. At the
I
beginning
would
of
fit.
Fortnite.
I would fit at least
my
9 pennies
God.
in my foreskin. so-
Wow.
Really?
Almost a
I
dime.
think-
I knew a guy that could fit like $5.
I know a guy that put those pennies in his mouth after it busted
Really?
it out. Yeah.
All
And he
right,
said, and he said they
everybody.
tasted like a girl's.
Let's spend the night
never
together.
mind.
We're so glad that
glad
you.
you
We
were
got
with
another
us.
article. Let's get it in. Let's get it. We got one more. What's the
You
other
want to do one more?
Let's do one more, man.
Was there theologians?
Yeah, there's the theologians.
Yeah, we
All
could
right.
get into
We'll do
that.
one more.
Sorry, we got a little too heavy.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're gonna be having the operation to remove an appendage like that, you know, you got to
Hey.
think of what its next destination. Like, what are you gonna do with this thing? Are you
Tip
gonna
to
hang
tip,
it up
base to
like
base.
like a
What are you
fish
doing?
on a trophy type of thing on your wall?
What if I wanted 2 dongers? You know, I attach yours on the side.
Oh my God! So
and
you
then
don't remove it at all. You
I
just
can do
add
one up, one down. You know what I'm saying? And just get a little groove going on. You know what I mean?
That sounds.
So,
That sounds like
but that's just
an
my
amazing idea.
That's just
Yeah.
that's just what I pray about.
That-
A guy
it's
can dream.
Yeah.
A man's allowed to have things that he prays for.
Yeah.
And
Let
That's,
me have
now it's
this.
funny that you just mentioned prayer.
I want
because the next
I want a
segment right now.
Cthulhu face on my crotch. Is that okay to say?
Theologians. Fucking great segue. Can't do it any better myself.
Cthulhu face on my crotch.
All right, everybody, we're talking religion. And we're going to finish the show on a high mark.
So we're still talking about Cthulhu.
I thought I was going to throw up on that last thing, but I'm
Yeah.
actually pretty good. I feel a lot better.
Yeah, that's weird. Now you're eating a sausage.
Yeah,
It must
now
have not grossed you out.
It's
that
weird.
bad.
It actually made me hungry.
Oh my god.
Like the wolf. All right. So,
Good song. You should play that.
theologians, this is where we're talking about religion. We know
Yeah.
everything about every fucking religion that's ever existed. So let's go one more
Yeah,
time.
we do. We're
Best
theologians.
in the world. All right. Satanic temples, Baphomet raises hell over religious
Thank
freedom
God we're doing theologians.
in Arkansas.
Hey, D-Boz.
Hallelujah.
What's a Baphomet?
Baphomet, it
Is
would
it like
be
that Mars Volta song,
It'd be
Day
like
of
the
the
devil, I
Baphomets?
believe.
Oh, it's
Let us
a
know
goat.
what a
Oh, it
Baphomet
says
is.
what it is.
So the members and supporters of the Satanic
that's
Temple wield a statue of a winged goat-headed creature, Baphomet, onto
Yeah.
the grounds of Arkansas State Capitol on Thursday to horn in on a battle over religious freedom. Where is this article coming from again?
Huffington Post.
We love
They're
you.
here with cutting edge fucking documentary.
These are some hot takes.
Your articles go
takes.
straight to our podcast.
Yeah, somebody's reading them.
Explain it.
And it's us.
Satanism's the next dab. All right, here we go.
So the Baphomet rally protested the Ten Commandments monument installed last year. So they're like,
That is fucked, though. If you think about it.
if the Ten Commandments come up, then the Baphomet statue will rise again.
The rise again. Like the
Look
right.
at that right there.
Oh, there's a little baby like talking to the fucking Sir Beelzebub.
Wow.
That is rough.
It's like, it looks like a
So,
Black Sabbath
you know
cover.
what? Out of that whole picture that you show me right now, Sir Beelzebub has a pretzel dangling from his little jingling.
You think that's a pretzel? It looks like two serpents. It looks like two
Oh, is that what it
dicks
is?
Oh, it's
joining, like you were just mentioning earlier.
So it's a perfect. It's a perfect storm.
Yeah, it's a perfect
storm.
thing from hanging from the throat of Baphomet.
That's
I
so
suppose.
wild that they're like, oh, children should be involved in Satanism.
All right, so it
I don't know.
says
People, I don't know. It's so weird.
So the Baphomet rally protest Ten Commandments last year that were installed outside the state capitol. After
Yeah, and that
lawmakers
is
approved.
weird because it's supposed to be, what is it, divide church and state, right? So,
Yeah.
like, why would you put the Ten Commandments in front of the Capitol, like, at all? You
Well,
know?
they're trying to. Their point.
Like,
is
that's
that-
what these guys are trying to do. It's
yeah,
like, it's
exactly.
not right for that to happen.
Yeah, so
you
they're
know?
trying to prove the point.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't like that, then what would happen if we put a Baphomet statue up?
Yeah.
And we
It's
got
a
some-
troll move.
But that's, I feel like it's fair. Fuck, like.
Good move, Satanists. This time.
Like I can see, like I see
checkmate,
why
Satanist.
you have
Satanist.
why people would have a problem.
They
with
should
the
call
Ten
them
Commandments.
Shadenist because they're
Yeah.
throwing so much
Oh,
shade.
nice.
Hot take.
Very nice. I like that, my man.
Yeah.
All right, Lucian Greaves. That's probably his Christian
Wow,
name.
that's definitely a Satanist.
Spokesman.
Lucian Greaves,
Come
bro.
on.
Is that
your birth name?
Corey Greaves?
That is a straight up. That is a straight up like stage name, and it's like so
Totally,
obvious.
totally,
like,
yeah.
why are you doing this?
He's the co-founder of
Oh,
the
that's why.
Satanic Temple.
Oh, he's a co-founder. Oh, I know this guy.
He
Oh, Lucian
characterized
Greaves. Okay.
the event as a rally for all people who hold sacred the founding constitutional principles of religious freedom and free expression.
I do.
But that's not totally true, though, because you're purposely like using this crazy demon statue. You know, you're not just
to troll
against. Yeah,
He says what we are asking for is only that only for the public square, or what we are asking for is only that the public square remain an area where free speech, religious liberty, and equality under the law be respected by the holders of public office who swore to uphold those.
It's probably
I
not
get that.
a good idea to like pick a religion. And,
That's
and lock it up,
but,
you know?
but it's the opposition of like if you're putting Catholic or what am I looking for?
Ten
Yeah,
Commandments.
Catholic like
Or Judeo-Christian.
yeah, like that stuff. Like that's not separating church from state. If it's if it's by the Capitol.
So you're saying that this is all...
I'm not saying I agree with it, but I understand
no,
why.
no,
I understand
no.
why they're trying it.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
mean,
like,
they're within their rights.
yeah, and freedom of speech, whether it's bad or good. Unfortunately, when it's bad, it sucks really bad, and you want them to say like "shut up."
yeah.
But like, I mean, I don't know, man.
Says that
It just sucks.
counter protest a day prior to the rally, opponents of the Satanic Temple held signs bearing a phrase like, "Blasphemy is not free speech."
But that's
Satan
like,
has no rights and honk for Jesus.
but that's like
I like that last
Blasphemy
one.
That's
is
like-
free speech.
It totally
but
is.
yeah, and that's like an idea that these guys have that they're like, well, no, my opinion's right and yours is wrong.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't argue that because it's objective.
And it's as retarded as like when you say blasphemy is not free speech. That's like if somebody says, "Well, hate speech is not free speech." You know?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
it
no,
is.
actually,
And it's
it is.
and,
subjective.
and it
Yeah.
sucks. It sucks really bad when people are saying like really harsh things that
Yeah.
like, especially like racially driven things. Like it sucks when I hear that stuff, but I can't be like, you're not allowed to do this.
Yeah.
You know, I want, and
You
man.
can tell them they're a shithead for doing it.
Yeah, most definitely. And I'm getting on a riff right now where I'm at the point to where I was listening to Trevor Noah on the Daily Show, where they talked about how like racism and intolerance is like you have to treat it like a disease, not like leprosy. You don't like push somebody away because they believe differently than you. You have to like teach them
That's
how
an
you feel.
interesting way to say it. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And this reminds me of that, and like just the idea of like the fact that people think that they can put the Ten Commandments when there's so many other people from different religions in the United States that are allowed to pray and believe differently, and to put like this statement like this is 10 Commandments,
like,
brother.
But it's not very
Old Testament. Ever heard of it?
But it's really not surprising.
Like
I mean, this is like Midwest Arkansas. So if it were to happen, it would be a place like this.
It's just weird.
I understand the whole church and state separation thing.
Yeah.
If they believe that's probably going to just comes down to a states' rights sort of thing. If these people want to put their Baphomet statue up, that's fine. I don't.
I think
that's
they
the
shouldn't
thing.
be able to the state shouldn't be able to just pick a religion and do a monument
Exactly.
to it.
Like
that seems kind of strange. It's like, even though, like you said, probably most of the citizens of that area are probably Christian.
Yeah.
Like, I would bet money.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that if they want,
but the idea that
if
the Ten
but
Commandments
even
are up,
that, I feel like you shouldn't. That'd be like voting in, like taking away the separation. Kind
Yeah,
of,
well,
you know?
but
You'd be like putting
but the thing is, there
on
isn't
the-
separation.
right, because it's like state.
There are places
to put
that
it up.
property or whatever.
They don't have that separation. Like having the 10 Commandments up, to me, is like, I don't know. That's like an integral part of just, I don't know, just law and order. And,
that's interesting.
And all those like.
I see that
like
the
English,
idea of just like being
English
a good
laws that we
person.
brought, like
the idea of just being a good person.
All of that tradition
is within
based off
that
of
10 Commandments.
Judeo-Christian.
Yeah.
Like I understand the.
It's still
I understand
like
the division and like,
Right.
yeah, but
Right,
it's
right.
like if it's at the law house, then I'm not surprised.
So
I think it's cool
is
to
it that
put
you
one of
understand?
those up, but just not at like the state capitol.
Yeah.
But Dante, I'm trying to like find out more about what you're saying, because I agree with you. Like I think like crucial like moral behavior is based off 10 Commandments, whether you're religious or not. And like putting that up, that's not what you're saying. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
is the 10 Commandments is kind of just like a 10-step guide of like to not be a piece of shit, essentially.
Yeah.
And but it is grounded within Catholicism. And I would say, I would say like throwing that up, like, okay, if you're going to do that, then you have to allow the opposition.
Well,
Like,
exactly. If you want to have
allow everything, like if everything is good to go,
if you're going to allow something,
you have to back it up. You know,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I like that. I like the idea that like everybody would be allowed to have like even like go into like more religions, and this
And that kind of goes into what you're saying. It's like them putting that up isn't saying you couldn't vote to if the people also wanted a really great like moral guideline quote from the Quran.
Well, yeah,
you could do that right next
if you're
to it.
in Dearborn,
but no one here like really wants to do
and
that.
At the courthouse, they had like something from the Quran.
Yeah,
you could literally make the same statement that it's the same fucking case.
Right, and like I'm thinking, I'm going hard liberal right now, guys. Hear me out here. How dumb would it be if you had like a statue of every representation of religion within that courthouse? Like statue, so that everybody like
I just think
that's
my
but it's
where
communal.
I think
You know what I mean? Like
the
it could be
separation
communal.
should be. It shouldn't be any religion.
Yeah.
Right. So the 10 Commandments you're saying just should be removed, and the
But
Satanism
it's tricky.
should
Like
be removed.
we've talked about it before. It's tricky because it's like, but everybody has like people are like kind of get upset when they can tell a politician or whatever is like, you know, their opinion is based off of like the Bible,
right?
And it's like, but everybody like follows something.
Yeah.
You know?
Real quick, like because it was
you can't not be.
I was reading a little
driven
more
by those morals,
and it says so. Senator and minister saying, okay, call the Satanic Temple rally-goers outside extremist pranksters and promote the profane. Okay, but what I found was interesting is you said, despite the Baphomet statue members, members of the Satanic Temple, which is headquartered in Salem, Massachusetts. So they're not even part of
shout
the
out to
same
Salem.
state.
Oh my god!
Shout out to Salem.
So this is my thing, that it's your like.
So
if
they
this
are
is
just
a
trolls.
community, and somebody comes in and says, "Well, I have a problem." They just like
Well,
fuck you.
so
They're seeing a separation of church and state.
And they're
purposely going there
from a totally different state.
I like that though. Like they're at least like okay, so maybe like you're not familiar with like every form of religion. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
Baphomet? You think that a Christian wants to hear about Baphomet? Like truth.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like, what if somebody has nothing else that they've heard of, or like just the idea of like this is supposed to be separation of church and state. It should be separation of church and state. We're gonna come here and protest. If you guys don't like it, you're in your rights to take it down. But we're just saying you have the right to have that there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I understand. Everybody's within their rights to do this.
Yeah.
So it says, okay, so...
I love that they're, like, fucking from Salem, Mass.
That's hilarious.
Like,
yeah,
that's
of course
like,
they are. They don't worship any deity. They consider themselves compassionate humanists.
They watch Hocus Pocus every October 31st.
Yeah, somebody watched Hocus Pocus too many times. The temple's mission is to encourage
sticking to their
benevolence
here.
and empathy among all people.
Well,
reject tyrannical authority and advocate practical common sense and justice.
Yeah,
that was just like a word vomit.
So,
yeah.
But, no. But I've heard this before. The idea of like Satanism is more like you should be a good person because there is no God or anything like that. Like you should be a good person to be a good person, not because like you have
the actual like real Church of Satan.
Yeah, it's
It's like obviously it's not like a religion that's like go out, drink blood, and be evil and kill people.
Fire it up!
Fire it up! It's like it's still just like a made up, dopey thing that I just don't like see it as like a real
and
any real substance to
for
it.
me.
I mean, they take their symbol from a purely evil character from another religion.
But and I do think that's what it is. And for somebody like for me, I came from a Catholic. What is it like? Not Catholic, but like Christian. What is it called?
Protestant.
Like background, and I see these guys, and they're just like, no, we're doing this so that like the idea of having like Satan as like our protagonist, but like our symbol. Is to like boldly say like, and it's like I'm not saying like boldly like we're striking you out and we're doing this and that, but like the idea that they're just like no, like,
that they're
anti-Christian. This stuff doesn't matter. Like just be a good person, and that's fine.
And they do say that they don't worship him.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I get that everything, like all of this shit is weird, and it is.
I just think it's not like it's just kind of a. I think it's not like really.
It's very cringy.
I hesitate to say it's not real, but it's just,
but I
kind of like.
I think first of all that 10 Commandments should not be there. Second of all, I think it's whack that you're trolling. So I'm not a fan of trolling. So.
I kind of get, and like I guess we already have said, like I kind of get their point or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
But it's like also,
it's like.
All right, all you Hellraisers out there.
I think you three are the real goat.
Yeah,
really?
I said you three.
Yeah, me and Dante and Corey.
And was it Billy?
Dog. Thanks for listening to Let's Spend the Night Together. I've been Dante. With me,
I've been Art the whole time.
And this guy's been Art. Thank you for listening.
Alex Jones.
He was Alex Jones.
And John Lennon.
You know what's hilarious about that last story? It says the Satanic Temple has recently struggled with its branch in Portland, Oregon, which announced on Wednesday that it is ending its affiliation with the group.
Oh.
Portland,
what are they going to be then?
Portland, Oregon's like, we're done with Satan.
Yeah.
The
city is just
not
done.
Salem, Oregon.
Well,
Salem, Massachusetts.
The branch reportedly took issue with the temple's hiring of an attorney to represent it in a religious discrimination lawsuit against Twitter, according to Vox. The same attorney previously represented Alex Jones.
Man represented me. He knew me. He represented me. He knew that the powers that be knew that 9/11. This is that.
Oh my God.
All right, guys.
Church of Satan.
Mother. He's not into Satan though. That's probably fucking crazy. To
Everybody knows that Bush did 7/11, so
yeah. Let's go out on that. Maybe we'll talk about that conspiracy.
So thanks for listening.
Thank you, guys. Sorry for being here.
God, welcome Art back
in the books. In the books.
And here's 260.
Peace.
But don't you worry about what's still on my mind.
And this is another episode of Wheezing the Juice. You know what I'm talking about?
What do you mean it's not working out, Craig?
We about to get it.
And it's another ad. Fuck my life.
Know it.
I have a really deep voice.
Baby want milk.
Do you
want some milk?
The Necronomicon. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Every time you hear that snap, you better jug a bear.
Whoa, Black Betty.
All right, everybody.
Bam lamb, she gone from Kentucky. Bam lamb, she got. And now we're back with Let's Spend the Night Together. One of my favorite pranks of all time was when we were swimming by your pool, and then I went to go put my shoes on, and you had hot dogs shoved
in the shoes
inside of my shoes. So I got to put my shoe on. I'm like, I can't fit my foot in. So I pull out, and it's just 2 sliced wieners. And I look over, and there's somebody making direct contact with me.
Eye contact. Or he's just touching you.
Guess who it was? Yeah. Dante just passed me on the dick and said
that was hand on your thigh.
Yeah, I'm pretty mischievous.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen a winged goat biting my mustache? I'm gonna take a quick pee-pee.
Take a quick dump,
were you guys
brother.
going to talk about that?
Right,
Wait, until he abandoned his instrument in the road one day?
Yeah, no, the Nigel guy. Yeah, well, he was playing a tea-chest bass.
So
that's true.
For the listeners,
whatever the fuck that is.
We knew the topic, but we're also learning about it as
we're learning. As we talk, because I don't know what a tea-chest bass is. But anyway, so Paul McCartney.
I don't know how to teach chess either.
Is saying we used to have
Pauly Shore, Steven Tyler, PJs.